You miss them, but they don't miss you. And the painful part is not the loneliness. The painful part is the realization that you cared more, that you gave more, that you held on longer than you should have. Nietzsche's philosophy is not gentle. It doesn't comfort you with lies. It forces you to face reality, even when it breaks your heart. And one of the hardest truths in life is this: some people don't leave because you did something wrong. They leave because they were never as deep as you. They never loved with the same intensity. They never carried the same loyalty. So while you sit in silence replaying memories, they move on. They sleep peacefully. They laugh. They post like nothing happened. And you ask yourself, how can someone forget me so easily? Nietzsche would say, the answer is simple. They didn't lose what you lost. You lost meaning. They lost convenience. You lost a bond. They lost attention. You lost a piece of your soul. They lost a chapter they were already finished with. And that truth is brutal, but it is also freeing. Because the moment you accept it, you stop begging the past to return, and you start rebuilding the future. This video is not here to make you hate them. It's here to wake you up, because missing them is not the problem. The problem is that you are still giving loyalty to someone who is already left. Let's break it down. Nietzsche would say that what you were feeling is not weakness, it is attachment, and attachment is powerful. Not because the person was perfect, but because you connected meaning to them. You didn't just love them, you built a world around them. You imagined futures, you imagined loyalty, you imagined forever. So when they left, it didn't just break your heart, it broke your structure. That's why you keep replaying memories. Your mind is trying to rebuild what collapsed. It's trying to find meaning again. And Nietzsche would say something uncomfortable here. Sometimes you miss them because you lost yourself, because you gave so much that when they disappeared, you felt empty. Not empty because they were your whole life, but empty because you sacrificed too much of your dignity. You stayed when you should have walked away. You accepted what you should have refused. You forgave what should have ended everything. And now the pain feels heavier because deep down you know the truth. You didn't just lose them, you lost your self-respect. And this is why people suffer after someone leaves, not because love is rare, but because self-worth is fragile. Nietzsche believed that when a person doesn't value themselves, they turn love into slavery. They tolerate disrespect. They settle for half love. They accept crumbs and call it loyalty. So the heartbreak becomes a lesson about boundaries, a lesson about value, a lesson about how dangerous it is to give your heart to someone who never earned it. Because when they don't miss you, it means you were giving gold to someone who only wanted convenience. And that is what hurts the most. This is where Nietzsche becomes ruthless. Because Nietzsche didn't believe life is fair, he believed life reveals truth. And the truth is this: some people move on fast because they were never fully invested. They didn't attach meaning the way you did. They didn't carry depth the way you did. They enjoyed you, but they didn't honor you. And that's why they don't miss you. Because missing someone requires conscience. It requires memory with emotion. It requires regret. But when a person was only using you for comfort, they don't miss you. They replace you. And this is why your silence feels heavy, while their silence feels peaceful. You ask yourself, how can they go on like nothing happened? Nietzsche would say, because they didn't lose what you lost. You lost love, they lost a benefit. You lost someone you respected. They lost someone who was convenient. And this is painful because it forces you to see something you avoided. You saw them as rare. They saw you as available. And availability without boundaries is dangerous because it teaches people they can lose you and still keep their pride. That's why Nietzsche constantly spoke about power, not power over others, but power over yourself. The power to walk away early, the power to stop begging, the power to choose dignity instead of attachment. Because the more you chase someone, the more you prove you can be left. So yes, they don't miss you. But Nietzsche would say, that is not your humiliation, that is your awakening. Because now you finally understand, if they don't miss you, they never deserved you. And you don't heal by convincing them, you heal by becoming someone you would never abandon again. One of the biggest reasons you can't let go is because you're still romanticizing them. You remember the good moments, the laughs, the warmth, the little details, and your mind uses those memories like a drug. It tells you they were special, it was real, it could have worked. But Nietzsche would warn you about this illusion because the mind doesn't only remember love, it edits reality. It removes the disrespect. It removes the coldness. It removes the moments you felt alone even when they were next to you. So you end up missing someone who no longer exists the way you imagine them. And that creates suffering. Nietzsche believed suffering grows when you lie to yourself, when you ignore what you already know. So let's be honest. If they truly valued you, they would not treat you as replaceable. If they truly respected you, they would not leave you confused. If they truly loved you, you wouldn't be sitting alone trying to understand their absence. Nietzsche would say, your pain is not proof of love. Your pain is proof you stayed too long. Because real love does not require constant self-abandonment. Real love does not make you smaller. Real love doesn't make you question your worth every night. So the turning point is this. Stop asking, why did they leave? Start asking, why did I allow it? Why did I tolerate half effort? Why did I accept disrespect? Why did I keep giving when I was not receiving? This is not to blame yourself. This is to reclaim your power. Because if you keep making them the center of the story, you stay weak. But when you make yourself the center, you start healing. And Nietzsche's message is clear. Your life is too valuable to be wasted on someone who doesn't miss you. Nietzsche would say healing starts the moment you stop chasing closure. Because closure is often just another excuse to reach them again. Another excuse to hear their voice, another excuse to feel something, even if it destroys you. But the truth is, if someone wanted you in their life, you wouldn't have to beg for clarity. You wouldn't have to decode their silence. You wouldn't have to suffer in uncertainty. So Nietzsche's path is not emotional comfort, it is dignity. And dignity requires discipline. First, stop checking them. Stop watching their pages. Stop searching for signs. Because every time you do that, you reopen the wound. You give them power again. Second, respect silence. Silence is the strongest reply to someone who didn't value you. Not because silence punishes them, but because silence protects you. Nietzsche believed that a strong person does not fight for attention. They don't compete for love. They don't beg to be chosen. They leave. Third, turn pain into structure. Pain gives energy. Most people waste it crying, scrolling, begging, thinking. But Nietzsche would say, use pain as fuel. Train harder, work harder, become sharper. Let your heartbreak build something inside you. Because when you build yourself, you stop missing them the same way. Why? Because you stop seeing them as your solution. You become your own solution. And finally, remember this. Missing them is normal, but returning to what broke you is not love, it is self-destruction. Nietzsche would say, if it costs you your dignity, it is too expensive. And the deeper you understand this, the faster you heal. Let's end with the truth that hurts and heals. Right now, you miss them because your heart still thinks they were the answer. Your mind still thinks they were rare. Your soul still wants to return to what feels familiar. But Nietzsche would say, familiar pain is still pain, and staying loyal to someone who left is not love, it's self-betrayal. You must understand this. They don't miss you because they think you will always be there. They think you are always available. They think your love has no limits. But that is what changes when you awaken. Because there comes a day when you stop hoping, you stop checking, you stop explaining, you stop waiting for regret, and you finally accept a person who doesn't miss you never deserved you. That day is not loud, it's silent. It is the day your heart becomes cold to what once controlled it. And in Nietzsche's eyes, that is strength, not cruelty, strength. Because now you are no longer addicted to someone who did not choose you. Now you are no longer begging. Now you are no longer chasing a ghost. You begin to rebuild. You begin to respect yourself. You become disciplined. You become whole again. And here is the final twist. Sometimes they miss you later, not because they suddenly became pure, but because they realized what they lost. They realized the loyalty they threw away. They realized your depth was rare. But by then, you won't care. Not because you hate them, but because you finally love yourself more. And that is the true revenge. Not hurting them, but becoming unreachable. So if you miss them today, let it hurt, but don't let it control you. Because the day is coming when you will look back and say, I survived what I thought would destroy me, and you will be proud that you didn't go back.